Hello, star seeds, humans, hybrids, aliens, robots, anyone watching this. Hello! We are going to talk about Middle Earth today. Middle Earth, the center of our Earth being an actual civilization and not just lava, moldavite, whatever it is that we think is in the core of the planet. It's not. It's actually a civilization, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm like really excited for this because I really don't know much about Middle Earth. So whatever comes through is going to be new for me also in this video, and I can't wait. And I am feeling called to ask you to subscribe to my channel, because then anytime I post a video, it will pop up on your feed. So if you're liking the information that I am transmuting to you, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. It will help me continue to channel this information, and it will help you be alerted when I post a new video. So please, please, please. I hate to even say that because it's so three-dimensional, but it's part of this YouTube game. So please subscribe and like if you like what I'm talking about. And as usual, I am merely a crystal transmuting higher dimensional information, higher dimensional frequencies. I'm communicating with my council and my guides, and they are these beautiful higher dimensional beings filled with love and light. So as they relay this information to me, I'm transmuting it through my body, into the screen, into your body, activating you, upgrading your cells, your DNA. These light frequencies are aligning you with the highest potential of your life frequency, with the very best, good, great life path of your timeline. It is activating the wisdom inherent within you and allowing you to step into your divine self. So we can upgrade in this video together. Let us dive into Middle Earth. Okay, so first and foremost, this community within the middle of the earth stems from Lemuria. If you haven't seen my Atlantis and Lemuria video, go watch it, because I explain how when Atlanteans flooded Lemuria and the Lemurians fled, they went to Middle Earth, and that's where they have been safekeeping and living and thriving for thousands of years. They've created this incredible civilization in the middle of the earth, which is what we're going to talk about. So the origination of this community is from Lemuria. These are Lemurians that are in the core of our earth, which is incredible in itself because Lemurians are very high dimensional, 5-dimensional frequency crystal people. So to know that they are the center of our earth just gives me more hope and faith that crystal energy is emanating through the rest of the planet from the core. Like, that's such a beautiful image to me. And this community is known as Telos, T-E-L-O-S. You can go read many, many books about Telos and the Lemurian civilization within the earth. Telos is this incredible civilization within the core of our earth made up of higher dimensional beings. So I'm just going to describe what I see when I get these images of Telos. So the way that Telos is formatted is it's a layered civilization. So it's in the core of our earth, and it has multiple layers to it. So let's just say 7 layers. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not sure if that is verbatim or not, but I'm seeing 7 layers of this civilization, and there are natural light sources powered by crystal energy within Telos. So what they have done is essentially replicated the sun within Middle Earth through crystals. I'm not positive about the actual science behind it. What I'm seeing, however, is just like light emanating and radiating from crystal energy. And I'm hearing like science our current science couldn't explain it. It's beyond our developments on the surface. So even if I could reiterate it to you in scientific terms, we haven't reached that plateau of science yet in our society. So that solves that. So what I see is 7 layers of this crystal light civilization, where crystal light is emanating to support life within. So each layer of this civilization serves a purpose. So let's just say there is one layer that has all of the agriculture needed to support life within Telos. They are all vegetarian. I'm hearing at least that they're all vegetarian. However, I do see animals. So I'm going to explore that in a second. But so like one layer is like full agriculture, like a mini like farm conglomerate, I guess, where they grow all of the vegetables needed to sustain the nutrients of the people within Telos. So they have this one layer of, like I've said, agriculture, gardens, trees, flowers, plants, everything needed to create clean oxygen within the layered community. Then another layer is animals. I'm seeing animals as if it's like Noah's Ark. So there's like one animal of every major species that were taken to Middle Earth to sustain the species, because these higher dimensional beings knew that the species on the surface would eventually be depleted because of our egoic, power-hungry, ignorant philosophy around animals and extinction. And so what I see here is just a layer of like all these different species, like Noah's Ark, and they don't eat them. Yes, they are vegetarian in Telos. They don't eat them. They have them there to withhold the natural agriculture of planet Earth. Just in case, heaven forbid, we wipe out the animals on the surface, they have the original species within Telos that they are safekeeping and protecting. Then I see another layer, like a couple layers of where the actual beings in Telos live. So when I describe these beings, they are higher dimensional beings, as I said, from Lemuria. They are human-like in appearance, but they are taller and they are leaner, and they emanate a very, very bright energy. Yeah, I'm seeing that they all have very opened third eyes. They do communicate telepathically in Telos. They also use verbiage, but they still have their telepathic abilities. So I'm just seeing like a very bright beaming third eye from these beings. And so there's a couple layers supporting the life of these beings that live there. They live in symbiosis. They live in community. I see them almost in like pods. Like they all have like individual pods, but it's made up of multiple layers of a living community. And what I'm hearing is that it is so loving and symbiotic. These beings, these Lemurian Telos beings, are living in perfect harmony. They never have to worry about war or anger or hatred, because they live in higher dimensional frequency of love and light in peace, which is what allows them to live in such small quarters all together. What I'm also hearing is that these beings these beings do not have a money system, they have a barter system. So every being within this community has a role, a duty, and they take turns. So every being is contributing in some way. One might be in charge of the agricultural aspect, and then next in charge of the animals, and then next in charge of caretaking the children. And they all kind of like cycle through these duties, and they are happy to do it. There is no ego involved. There is no money or wealth involved. They are all living in complete harmony with each other. And it is an ingrained understanding that it is all of their duties to contribute to this community. And something that is very interesting is that the beings in Telos approach love and marriage in a very different way than we do. So what I'm hearing is two things. One, that there's a difference between who they decide to mate with forever, have as their soulmate, and who they decide to have children with. That is very interesting. So let me see if I can materialize this into words. So two beings in Telos might come together with the agreement that they are going to procreate. But it is an agreement to procreate and raise the child with dual love and dual harmony and companionship. But that does not necessarily mean that this being is their soulmate. When a being in Telos decides to commit to another being as their soulmate, they are committing to a relationship of hundreds of years, if not thousands. So what I will really quickly add in is the beings in Telos are not necessarily immortal, but they can live for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Some of the beings, what I'm hearing is like the princess of Telos. She has been alive now for, I'm seeing 6 and 16,000. So I don't know whether it's 6,000 or 16,000 years, but she's been alive for thousands of years. And many of the beings in this civilization have that ability to live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So I'm going to go back to the relationship aspect of this. These beings, if they choose one other being as their soulmate, they are choosing that being to be with for hundreds of years. There is no divorce in Telos. There is no separation in Telos. They are highly evolved beings, and their hearts are very open and evolved. So when they decide to choose another being as their mate, as their partner, they are choosing that partner forever. And it is like a soul agreement, and there is a ritual around it, and everyone in the community is involved. Again, that is different from them deciding on a person to have a child with and procreate. They do not have to go hand in hand. Some do. Some are very sacred rituals where they choose their soulmate and they procreate with their soulmate, but it is not necessary. And my ego, right, just questioned this information and said, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they choose to raise a child with someone that they are not choosing as their soulmate? And what I'm hearing is they understand love from a higher dimensional frequency. They understand that if they bring a child into the world, it is purely out of love, and that person that they have chosen to create with is the best partner to create this star being with and raise this star being with the platonic mutual love, with that person being the parent of the child. But there is no jealousy, there is no resentment, there is no There's no unevenness in feelings. All of the feelings are reciprocated and mutually met by the other being. And some Telos beings choose not to mate and choose not to procreate, and they are no different. They are viewed in the same respect and esteem as those who do. So what I'm hearing is our society on the surface has manipulated love to being more of a duty than a blessing. That we approach relationships as a hassle rather than a gift. That we do not use our free will to choose the partner that our soul is connected to. Rather, we choose the partner that checks all the boxes on the three-dimensional surface. So what I'm hearing is like we can take a lot of notes from the Telos community because they have really perfected the art of loving and living in community with each other. And then I'm going to go back to the layers. So we have the agricultural layer, we have the animal layer, we have the couple layers of the actual civilization where they live. And then I see like the top couple layers being where the crystal energy is cultivated. So what I'm seeing is just like massive crystals, like almost like warehouses of crystals, and they are connected to machines that I don't recognize, so I won't try and name them, but it is harnessing the energy of the crystals and completely energizing the entire community. So it runs the water system, and it runs the electricity system, and it grows the plants, and it keeps the beings rejuvenated with sunlight, even though it is crystal sunlight. What I'm hearing is it is an exact replica of sun energy. So these beings are still receiving D3, right? They're still receiving the vitamins of the sun, except through crystal light, which is very fascinating. And they have a teleportation system. I'm seeing like trains, but they're highly evolved past the trains that we have on the surface. Like these trains can commute from Telos to other Middle Earth communities in different parts of the world within hours. Like what I'm hearing is just like speed of light. So, and I'm also like seeing the image of these beings smiling at the fact that we have not perfected this transportation yet, and that it is very necessary and soon to come. Because if we could cultivate inner earth travel through these highly evolved train systems, we could essentially solve pollution. And you know, as far as automobiles go, we wouldn't be emitting this carbon dioxide to the surface if we developed these high dimensional train systems. And with that, Telos is not the only Middle Earth community. There are other Middle Earth communities all around the world, and these beings are all very highly evolved. And what I'm hearing is that a lot of high up elite government know about these Middle Earth transportation systems and have used them before. Yes, okay, so a massive portal into Telos is on Mount Shasta. There is like Mount Shasta in California, the mountain system is like one of the main entries into Telos. And what I'm seeing and hearing is that you have to be vibrating at a certain frequency in order to even have access to the portals. So many people go to Mount Shasta looking for the portal, or go to these other vortexes around the world looking for these portals to Middle Earth, and they are unable to find them because these portals vibrate at such a high frequency that unless your being is aligned with those higher frequencies, you won't even absorb, you won't align with the vibrations needed to get into the portal. So what I'm hearing is it's set up on purpose, because this community, these Middle Earth communities, are so sacred and divine that only high dimensional beings can access them. They have set these portals up with very strict conditions, because they don't want people from the surface that are very three-dimensional getting in and disrupting the peace and harmony of these Middle Earth communities. Yes, and with that, these beings in Middle Earth have been waiting for the moment in history to resurface. They have resurfaced individually here and there and lived amongst us. But they are waiting for a mass resurfacing, because they do want to inform the public on the surface that these communities exist, and they do want to live in harmony and symbiosis with these communities on the surface. They want to connect with us. They want to educate us. They want to help lead us into a higher dimensional way of living. They want to share with us their crystal technology and their transportation systems. However, they are waiting until we have reached a tipping point in which a certain amount of us have awakened and upgraded. So what I just keep hearing is they're waiting for the time when the time is right. I keep hearing when the time is right. When we have upgraded and shifted as a species on the surface of planet Earth, when our hearts are aligned with love and our chakras are aligned with higher dimensional light, when we operate from the heart chakra rather than the ego, when we are aware of our symbiotic relationship with Gaia, Mother Earth, when we are living in community and loving each other as brothers and sisters rather than being at war, when we have awakened to the fact that we are powerful beings and we do not have to rely on the exterior societal systems to give us power, for we have the power within us, when we have accessed all of these aspects of higher dimensional living, that is when they are going to resurface. That is when they feel we will be ready to assimilate with them. That is when they feel we will be ready to understand their technology, to understand and even fathom this idea that our core of our earth is actually hollow, and that there are crystal civilizations within the core of our earth. What I hear is like, we are not there yet. We have not fully awakened to that yet. Their restraint, their hesitation is that they fear that, well, they don't fear. They're aware of our fear. And that if they come up prematurely to the surface, if we are still in a fear frequency, we will react through war and violence, because when human beings do not understand something or comprehend something, they react out of fear. They react out of hate and anger. And what I'm hearing is that we're still there. We're still in the fear frequency, and they don't want to resurface because they don't want to cause a war. They don't want the masses to react out of fear and lash out at them, and then their entire existence is exposed. So in the meantime, they have been safekeeping sacred, ancient secrets, like secret knowledge, secret wisdom, the wisdom that was planted in the pyramids in Egypt after Atlantis fell. They are safekeeping all of the higher dimensional secrets that are alien and star being and ascended master and archangel beings and guides have gifted us. They are safekeeping all of that. They are helping to stabilize our planet through their crystal energy. So, like, There have been many times throughout history when our world was close to obliteration through nuclear power, but they balanced that with their crystal energy. The crystal energy within Telos and Middle Earth communities is so strong that it is keeping a, like I hear like a vortex vibrational grounding pull to offset any of the damage that we are doing on the surface. So the work that they are doing in Middle Earth is very important to our well-being, and we have much gratitude to these beings for choosing to stay in these communities in Middle Earth to ground the energy of Gaia, because they could easily go to other dimensions. They could easily go back to their star planets, but they are choosing to stay, and they are choosing to continue to help the womb of Mother Earth as we destroy the surface of Mother Earth. So it is very incredible and important that we have this Middle Earth civilization. And what I'm hearing is that they are just really benevolent, loving beings that are so excited to connect with us. And they're like in Middle Earth, like cheering, like waiting for the tipping point of humanity to awaken so that they can come embrace us as their brothers and their sisters. They are rooting for us, just as the higher dimensional beings above us. They are like grounding that energy below us, physically speaking, below us, and they are rooting for our success as a species. They are rooting for humanity to awaken now. They are rooting for our golden age. They are rooting for our shift into 5-dimensional frequency, and they want to help us transition into 5-dimensional frequency because they have the technology to allow us to live in a 5-dimensional society. The Telos community is utopian. It is like, what I see is pure light. Like when I travel into these layers of the community, it is like massive high voltage like ceilings and trees growing all the way up, and just jungle. Everything is green, everything is lush, everything is beautiful. The animals that live in there, I just got this visual that even the wild species like lions and bears and wolves, etc., they are all very loving and tame, actually, and they live in symbiosis with the beings that are in there, because it is a pure love utopian civilization. And what I'm hearing is that that is how the surface is supposed to be. That is how we are supposed to be living. That is how we can be living in a 5-dimensional frequency. And these beings in Telos are going to help us in this transition when we are ready, when the time is right. So I'm going to bring this to a close. And what I see and what I hear is just to leave you with this message of, imagine this Middle Earth utopian civilization every time you have your feet on the ground. Feel your feet connecting with that crystal energy. Feel your whole being going deep into the ground and connecting with these star brothers and sisters. Feel their crystal energy charging up through the root of the core and coming through the ground into your heels and shooting up your body. And if you can consciously imagine that light coming up through your system every time you have your feet planted on the ground, you are energetically connecting with the Telos community, and you are energetically aligning yourself to a higher vibrational frequency. Yes, and that we should be excited because incredible times are coming, and like what I'm hearing is this is beyond any of the most wild science fiction movies you could ever watch. We are living it in real time. So get excited, feel your feet and your being connect with Telos. And again, I encourage you to do your own research. There are many, many books about Telos and the Lemurian civilization within Middle Earth. So have fun exploring that if this interests you. And again, please subscribe and like if you liked the information that came through, so that as I share more information, it pops up on your feed. Again, I feel very weird and uncomfortable saying this, but what I'm hearing is the energy frequency that is delivered through these videos is very important for you to receive. And so the sooner that it pops up on your feed and the sooner that you click play and even watch 30 seconds of it, the sooner that your energy continues to upgrade. So please subscribe and like if this resonates with you. And again, breathe in this higher dimensional love and light frequency and know that I love you. You are a star being. In fact, you are probably directly related to the Lemurian beings within Telos, and yeah, we are going to have incredible times on the horizon. So I'm sure there will be more information to come through on Middle Earth, but for now, I will leave it here. And yeah, what I just hear as a closing message is you are getting closer and closer to activating your light body. And the more that you share this information, the more that you even share my videos, the more that other people can activate their light bodies, and the more that we can reach that tipping point, and the sooner that this Telos community and these Middle Earth communities will surface to join us. Yay! Super exciting. All right, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and get ready for some wildly exciting times.